Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I got a question that I think I know the answer to, but I'm going to see what you're going to say about it. So bought a house last year, and my interest rate is 7.375, and my mortgage was sold, and the new mortgage lender is saying, hey, we can save you some money if you refinance. Now, we're on the back half of baby step 2, my wife and I have the money to pay off our car. It's approximately $6,600. And the mortgage lender says, I would strike now while rates are a little lower, because if you pay that car off, that's the last piece of debt in my name. You said your credit's going to start to drop off, and that'll start to hurt you. So I guess my question is, do I pay off the car, or do I refinance and then pay off the car? What should I do?
Yeah. Well, your mortgage lender only makes a commission when they sell you a mortgage.
Right.
So we know their advice is tainted in this case. This guy's pitching pretty hard.
He is. They are pretty aggressive with the calls.
Yeah. So that right there tells you that something's up, right? And so,
correct.
Yeah, I'm paying off the car, and I'll get around to the mortgage later. Why did you take such a high interest rate loan?
Well, we were living in. I
know, but that's above market. What, did you have bad credit?
No, credit score is upper 7s.
Yeah, 737 is ridiculous. I mean, the market for a year has been at 6. That's weird.
Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about finance. I've recently started learning everything and going through the financial piece and the baby steps. So yeah. I am making up for lost time.
All right, let's do two things. Let's answer your question in two parts, and so we get the whole thing, and that'll help you, and it'll help some people that are listening too. Okay, number one. If the only choice is between paying off your car or refinancing, we'll pay off your car. Okay, so that part's answered. And number two, the mortgage lender being aggressive is your hint that he's self-serving, not you serving. Okay, that's why they're calling back all the time and trying to make a commission. And so number three, here's how you calculate when you refinance a mortgage. Your break-even, you do a break-even analysis. All right, let's use an example. Mm-hmm. All right, let's pretend that you had 737 and you could get 637. That's a spread of 1 if you refinanced, right? Mm-hmm. And your loan balance is currently what?
$380,000.
Okay, so 1% is $3,800 a year.
Correct.
That is your savings. Okay, so if it costs you $15,000 to refinance, and you recoup at the rate of $3,800, it's going to take 5 years to get your money back.
Right.
You follow that?
Mm-hmm.
That's called a break-even analysis. How long before I break even with a savings of $3,800 versus a cost of $15,000? If your cost was $7,600, you break even in 2 years. And everything after 2 years, you're putting $3,800 in your pocket. That one starts to make sense.
Right.
But 15 years doesn't make sense. And so what we've got to do is we have to figure out the closing costs and divide the annual interest rate savings into the closing costs, and that number should be 2, maximum of 3 years. 2 to 3 years or less. And so what that ends up telling us is the lower the closing costs and the greater the difference in interest rate when you refinance, the more likely you are going to be to do it mathematically, because the faster you're going to break even.
I agree.
Okay? And so if these rates drop on down, if we see some continued movement, and we've seen a little bit of movement in the last few weeks, where the 15-year right now is 5.86 on a 15-year. Okay? It's 5.95. So it's only a tenth of a point. It's just barely moving. It's just hanging around. But there's all this discussion around the Fed and all these other things right now. There seems to be some downward pressure. So I disagree with your guy that now is the time. I probably would wait a little bit. But if you could save 2% right now and you could make your money back in 2 years, I'd refinance it right now, but not with your car money.
Okay, yeah.
So the way you do the analysis is divide your interest rate interest dollars saved into your closing cost dollars, and that's your number of years to break even, and that number of years needs to be 2 to 3 years maximum. And so just to throw a few more stats at you guys listening out there and hearing this, the average home in America for the past 25 years has sold every 6.5 years, and the average mortgage only lasts 5.5 years. And so if you have a 7-year break even on your refinance, you got screwed. Because on average, you're not going to be there that long. Oh, it's my forever. Oh, shut up. I'm giving you the averages. I don't want to hear about your forever nothing. Okay? So the deal is that your refinance needs to break even in 2 years, maybe 3. But as we see these rates slide down, and some of you are sitting in some 6, even some 7% interest rates, and we see them slide down towards 5 again, you're going to see that 2% margin, and that 2% margin is going to take a whole bunch of you and make this formula work to refinance.
Why would I'm asking for a friend, why would I pay off that car with that $6,000 versus pay this thing off and lower that rate substantially?
Because we've got to clear the cash first. The cash flow on the car payment is much greater than the $3,800.
Which good call. So I'm probably paying $500-$600 a month on that car,
maybe
versus
$7. Average is $780 right now.
Then the $3,800 divided by 12. Yeah. Okay.
And the mortgage is going to be sitting there, and the car, it's like an impediment in this whole thing. It's like the fly in the ointment.
I love that. Okay.
And the mortgage is sitting there. I got to clean up the mess so I can go work on and fine tune the stuff that's not as big a mess.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't mess with the fine tuning while we still got baseballs being thrown through the window.
So if somebody clears the cars and they've got $35,000 in student loan debt,
they need to clear the student loans
before you go refinance your
unless if you want to roll your refinance costs into the mortgage, you could do that.
Okay.
But you don't need to drain cash to do it.
Okay.
Because again, but only if you're breaking even,
right.
Then.
Right.
Because you now owe more on the house by $7,000, but you're going to save $3,800 a month or $3,800 a year. So that
you'll be back in 2 years.
2 years, you come out ahead on doing that, even though you owe more, but you'll owe less.
Gotcha.
When you're done. So all that works out mathematically, but wow, a little bit of a barrel of fish hooks. So, but yeah, that's guys and gals how you work your refinance calculator, and Churchill Mortgage can help you with all that. We've endorsed them through all the ups and downs of interest rates over all these 30-something years they've been on the air with Ramsey, and they can help you and they'll tell you the truth. They're not going to do what this mortgage lender is doing to Stephen and just hound you to buy something you don't need to buy.
I'll tell you my favorite thing. When I called Churchill and said, this is several years ago, and refinanced my house, and the first thing the guy said to me was, I need you to hear me say it. I'm not going to take your money unless this works out for you in the end. And so let me run the math on it, and I'll holler back at you. And then he called back and said, oh, yeah, this is a great deal, X, Y, or Z. But that was the first thing is I'm not going to just make a sale on your back. I'm not going to take your money if this isn't going to work out for you and your family. And I was like, I'm all in. I appreciate that.
And just a little inside baseball, guys. Mortgage companies have been dying for the last 3 years because they existed for the previous 10 years, 20 years on refinances, and refinances have disappeared as some of you are sitting on 2.37, and you're not going to refinance at a 5.8. You'd be dumb to do that. And so the refinance market has dried up, and they were living off of refinances, so a lot of mortgage companies have gone broke. And so that's where some of this pressure is coming from. And then you got people like Rocket. Woo! Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.